Hey guys, I got an email recently from someone asking me if I would do a lesson about playing out. I've actually been working on this myself for a little while, so I decided that this would be a perfect topic for me to do a series on. So this series is going to be about playing out. I'm just going to go through some general guidelines and some techniques to getting an out sound. Playing out is defined as basically just playing wrong notes. And playing wrong notes is pretty easy. It doesn't take a genius to play wrong notes. What is not so easy is to make them sound good. Generally, when musicians talk about playing out, they're not just talking about playing out notes. They're talking about playing out notes and sounding good. There is a certain sound, a certain tension that you can create when you do it right that is really pleasing and actually sounds really nice. So this video, I'm just going to give you some general rules that I'm following to get my out playing to sound nice. Rule number 1, play it fast. It can't be too slow, because if it's too slow, your ear is going to latch on to these wrong notes, and instead of your listener thinking you're playing some cool modern lines, your listener is going to think, wow, that guy doesn't know what notes are in this chord. He's totally lost, doesn't know what he's doing. So guideline number 1 is one that I pretty much never break. This isn't like training wheels. This is like pretty much always, I never will sit on an out note for too long. I go through them quickly and move on to other notes. Guideline number 2, you have to resolve it back into your key logically and in a place that feels good. This is kind of like training wheels. A lot of really great musicians play out and don't necessarily resolve it back into the key perfectly in a logical place. This is something that I'm working on myself because I like to develop this kind of control in my own playing where I'm resolving it very nicely. And this is a way you can ensure that it's going to sound good by working on resolving it nicely. So eventually, once you get this down, you can break this rule, but I highly recommend working on it like this before you start trying to break the rule. So now that we have our 2 guidelines, I'm going to give you guys an example. The way I was getting out notes in the intro of this video was very simple. I was just moving up a half step. So I was playing over a D Dorian vamp, and I was mixing in some lines from E flat Dorian, which is just, moving my D minor D Dorian shape up a half step. And then when I was resolving it, more often than not, I was resolving it to very consonant tones in my D scale. Like I was resolving it to root third or fifth, D, F, or A, a lot of the time. I'd say most of the time. I like to do that because when you're out, you're creating this tension, and it feels really good to resolve it very cleanly to a very nice consonant chord tone. So that's why I was picking those really nice notes to resolve smoothly too. So here's an example. I'm going to play it quickly so you hear it, and then I'm going to analyze it and play it again so you can hear what the effect is that I'm going for. what I did here is I started on D, and I played a D Dorian scale straight through, and then I went a half step up to E flat and played descending E flat Dorian scale, so it's just the same exact thing, a half step up. And then right on beat 1, I've set myself up to resolve very nicely back onto the note D, which is my root for my original key. So basically I'm going up the scale in D, and then when I come back down, instead of just walking straight back down in my D scale, I'm walking back down in E flat a half step up to create some tension. It kind of pulls at you, and then on beat 1 I resolve back to D and the tension goes away. So I'll play it one more time now that you know what's going on. Okay, so I think that was actually the first example that I played over the backing track at the beginning of this video. So go check that out. I think it was. And there are tons of examples. That whole intro, I'm just moving up and down a half step and resolving it in nice ways. So there are lots of examples there for you guys to steal if you like them. And now the last thing I'm going to do in this video is just suggest a little exercise that I think is very helpful in developing this technique, because even though it sounds easy to move up a half step, it's actually not that easy, in my opinion. It gets kind of confusing, and if you make a little mistake or you don't resolve perfectly to the right note in a smooth way, it doesn't sound good at all. So I'm just going to show you a little exercise that I've been working on, and I'm not perfect at this, so if I make a mistake, my apologies. But what it is basically I just start on D, and I play 4 notes right up the scale in D Dorian, and then I find the nearest available note in E flat Dorian, and I play 4 notes in that scale, and then I find the nearest available note in D, play 4 notes, and I keep going all the way up my neck, or all the way up my scale shape, playing 4 notes of each tonality, and trying to smoothly transition between the two seamlessly without any pauses or, dragging or rushing any notes. So I'll just play that real quick. D, E flat, D, E flat, D, E flat, D, E flat, and back to D. So a little faster, that might sound like. So there you have it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe so that you don't miss any future lessons. I am putting stuff up at least once a week, sometimes more. And please like and comment and send me an email if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I would love to hear from you. I respond to every single email and really enjoy getting them. So thanks, and I hope you guys have a great day.